The boy's first cry never came. In the delivery room, the silence was so complete it felt loud. Machines hummed, monitors blinked, nurses moved with practiced calm, but the expected sound, sharp, desperate, alive, never filled the air. Evan Hale stood rigid beside the bed, his tailored suit forgotten, his hands gripping the rail as if the world might tilt if he let go. Marissa, exhausted and pale, searched the room with anxious eyes. "Why isn't he crying?" she whispered. A nurse smiled too quickly. "Some babies are just quiet." But the doctors didn't meet Evan's eyes. They laid the baby on Marissa's chest. Noah blinked, tiny fingers curling, his mouth opening in a silent shape. He was perfect, absolutely perfect. Evan felt love slam into him so hard it stole his breath. Days later, the word arrived. Death. Not temporary, not delayed, profound, congenital. The specialist spoke gently, carefully, as if tone alone could soften meaning. Evan heard only fragments. No response. Both ears. Cochlear implants may help but, not guaranteed. Marissa cried quietly, shoulders shaking. Evan didn't cry at all. He nodded, asked sharp questions, requested names, numbers, timelines. Inside, something splintered. Silence followed them home. Noah grew quickly, a bright-eyed baby who watched faces intensely. He laughed when he felt vibrations through Evan's chest, when doors slammed, when Marissa clapped near him so he could feel the rush of air. Music played constantly in the mansion, not for sound but for movement, the low hum of bass through the floor, the pulse Noah seemed to enjoy. Still, Evan fought the silence like an enemy. Therapists rotated through weekly. Specialists flew in from overseas. White rooms, soft voices, charts filled with arrows and probabilities. Everyone treated Noah delicately, as if he were fragile glass. Evan hated that most of all. One afternoon, while Noah napped, Evan stood by the tall windows overlooking the grounds. Beyond the trimmed hedges and iron gates, near the outer fence where the land dipped toward the road, he noticed a small figure sitting in the dirt. A boy, dark-skinned, thin, maybe 10 or 11. He wore a faded hoodie and scuffed sneakers. A backpack lay beside him, its zipper broken. The boy wasn't begging or waving. He sat cross-legged, head bowed, hands moving in small, precise motions against his knees. Tap, 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 pause. Evan frowned, watching. Below, Noah's nanny pushed his stroller along the path. A moment of distraction, a phone buzzing, a bird lifting from the grass, and Noah wriggled free. On unsteady legs, he toddled toward the fence, drawn by something Evan couldn't name. The boy looked up. Their eyes met through the bars. Something shifted in the boy's expression, not surprise, not pity. Recognition. He stood slowly, careful not to startle, and crouched down. He didn't speak. Instead, he lifted his hands and moved them gently, deliberately. Noah stopped. His small face lit up, eyes wide. He raised his hands, copying clumsily. The boy smiled, patient and warm. Evan's heart stuttered. Security approached from the path, hands already signaling the boy to move along. Evan raised his arm sharply. "Wait." The boy reached into his backpack and pulled out a battered notebook. Its edges were frayed, pages yellowed. He flipped to a page filled with simple drawings and strange symbols. He pointed, then tapped the fence. Tap, 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 pause. Noah pressed his palms to the metal, feeling the rhythm vibrate through his bones. A silent laugh shook his body. The boy nodded, as if something important had just been confirmed. "Bring him inside," Evan said, his voice rough. Inside the vast living room, the boy stood awkwardly on the polished floor, shoulders hunched, hands tucked into his sleeves. When asked his name, he answered softly. "Malik," he explained, eyes on the ground, that he lived with his grandmother nearby. He came to the fence because it was quiet there. Because he liked watching the birds. Because he'd seen Noah before. "He looks at hands," Malik said. "Like I used to." Malik's mother had been deaf. She'd taught him sign language before she died. The notebook had been hers. They'd used it to learn words when there were no books. Noah crawled toward Malik, unafraid. Malik sat on the floor without hesitation. He didn't touch Noah until Noah touched him first. Evan watched, stunned, as Malik rolled a toy car back and forth, tapping gentle rhythms into the floor. Noah followed, absorbed. No pressure. No expectation. For the first time since Noah's birth, the room felt full. That night, Evan lay awake, staring at the ceiling, the image of Malik's calm hands replaying in his mind. He had spent millions trying to fix something that wasn't broken, and a boy with nothing but patience had reached his son in minutes. The next day, Evan asked Malik to return. Malik came after school. He arrived with a shy smile and the same worn backpack. Sometimes his grandmother came with him, sitting stiffly at the edge of the kitchen, clearly overwhelmed by marble counters and silent staff. Malik worked with Noah on the floor, in the garden, wherever Noah felt comfortable. He taught Noah signs slowly, joyfully. More, eat, play, happy. Noah learned fast. Evan tried too, his large hands clumsy. Malik corrected him gently, never mocking. You gotta relax, Malik said once, smiling. Hands listen better when you mean it. Weeks passed. Noah began initiating signs on his own. He tugged Evan's sleeve, signing play. He touched Marissa's cheek, signing love, the movement imperfect but unmistakable. One evening, Noah tapped Malik's chest, then his own, then signed uncertainly. Malik froze, eyes shining. He signed back carefully. What did he say? Marissa whispered. Evan swallowed hard. He said, friend. The night everything changed, Evan had scheduled another demonstration, another sleek device promising sound. Doctors, investors, consultants filled the room. Malik wasn't supposed to be there. Noah clung to him anyway. When the device powered on, Noah stiffened. The vibrations were harsh, unfamiliar. He whimpered, distressed, pushing away. Before anyone could intervene, Malik stepped forward. Can I? He asked quietly. The room stilled. Malik knelt, pulling out the notebook. He flipped to a page filled with patterns, dots, lines, spaces. He tapped them gently on the table, then on Noah's arm, guiding his hands. Tap, pause, slide, press. Noah's breathing slowed. Malik placed Noah's hands over Evan's chest. Evan felt his heartbeat echo through his ribs. Malik signed slowly. Noah followed. What is he doing? Someone murmured. Evan answered, voice breaking. He's teaching my son how to hear me. The device was turned off. Later, when the room was empty, Evan knelt before Malik. You gave my son a language, he said. What do you want? Malik thought for a long moment. Nothing, he said. Then softly, maybe, help kids like my mom. So they don't have to wait for someone to notice them. Evan nodded, tears falling freely. A year later, the Hale Foundation for Deaf Children opened its doors. On stage, Noah stood confidently, hands moving with clarity as Malik stood beside him. The crowd watched in complete silence. And for the first time, Evan understood. His son had never been lost. The world had just been listening the wrong way.